very creative with his hands. But
can a medium like James Van Praagh receive and interpret messages from people who have died? Some scientists believe that the techniques used by Van Praagh have more to do with his background than any type of psychic ability.
In my opinion, James Van Praagh is an actor who was for a long time in search of a role to play. If you read his book, if you read the interviews with him, it's all there. He grew up in the theater. He worked for Paramount Studios. He hung around Hollywood types in hopes of finding work. He finally found work as an actor playing the role of a medium, and he's now very successful.
Psychologists like Michael Shermer contend that Van Praagh's so-called psychic ability is best understood in terms of the different types of readings that anyone could perform.
Cold readings are where you literally read somebody cold. You've never seen them before, you haven't gotten information on them, and you just start throwing stuff out, lots and lots and lots of comments and questions. And the way that works is most of what you say are misses, but people will remember the hits and forget the misses, and the reason you get hits at all is through random chance.
A warm reading makes statements about people that are true for virtually everyone.
We almost all have pictures of our lost loved ones in the bedroom, next to the bed, on the hearth, over the fireplace, on the mantle where we keep these sorts of memories. So a warm reading would be to say something about that person that's true for everyone, and you're bound to get a hit, 80–90% certainty.
A hot reading is one where the medium actually digs into the client's past, retrieving seemingly otherworldly information from earthly sources.
I've had skeptics say to me that, or actually said on national television, that I actually have a computer system set up to everyone's house in the country, which I think is extraordinary, and I think I'd be the first one to tell people I had that, because I think that's incredible. I'm going around investigating people.
Information is more readily available than it's ever been in history, so it's easy to do. But in reality, I think most of the time, most psychics don't cheat like that. They don't have to. You can use these other techniques quite successfully.
Believers naturally reject such skeptical explanations and insist the skeptics are reacting to their own fear of the unknown.
Life after death makes the psychological and the medical community nervous because it's something we can't control, measure, touch, or see. And most scientists feel threatened. They feel like a loss of control when you put something underneath them that requires a little bit of belief, a little bit of faith, plus some science.
So how could one explain Van Praagh's supposed discovery of the brother Peter Redgrove never knew, and the appearance of a nun who had abused him 30 years earlier?
I often hear stories about things that Van Praagh gets that are just seemingly impossible, that I can't possibly explain. But whenever I see tapes of the whole reading, I have never once seen something that he got that he couldn't have gotten from, that I couldn't have gotten from the conversation and the feedback, that I can't explain through normal means, not once. So that tells me when I hear these stories, you couldn't have possibly known that there's exaggeration on the part of the storyteller. And when they go to see Van Praagh, almost everybody suspends their disbelief. They suspend skepticism. They want the act to be real, and they are willing participants in that.
And now with
Some psychologists tread the middle ground, believing Van Praagh's messages from beyond the grave should be given just as much credence as the advice that any of us seek from friends and colleagues.
I think that it's not a bad idea to put that on your plate alongside what the university professors are saying, and the Nobel Prize winner is saying, and your local neighbor is saying. But don't get overly attached to the channeled entity any more than you're getting attached to your neighbor or the local professor.
Van Praagh agrees and offers this advice to those who are considering a session with a medium or a psychic.
Everyone has to question things, yes, but don't be closed-minded. Be open-minded. See that life continues on. There are no endings, only beginnings.